As some of you guys know, if you guys pay attention to me and the things that I've been talking about, you guys know that I am extremely partial to No Limit music and the culture. I've been following No Limit since 1991, and I guess you could maybe count 1990, but for sure 1991 was when I had my very first No Limit tape. And I've continued to listen to anything No Limit related, pretty much the rest of my life from that point on. So it is a great honor and a privilege to have someone on the line right now who not only was associated with No Limit, but actually made a lot of music, still doing music and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, I'd like to welcome Reginelli from the Gambino family to the show. Reginelli, say what's up to the people. My brother, what's happening?
What's down? What's down? Well, I'm in the building. Yeah, I gotta. I'm with the real right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely appreciate that. And I'm going to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background about how this thing kind of started. But of course, as always, because I'm a DJ, I always start the show with some music. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of give you guys a synopsis real quick as to where we are. And I actually had ran across the video. I was up the other night and I was on YouTube scrolling, refreshing my subscriptions. And of course, I'm actually subscribed to him. I follow him on Instagram and Facebook and all of that good stuff. And I happened to run across a rather interesting video that had some rather interesting commentary on it. And it just so happens that he was kind of telling us about some things as far as like life after No Limit and stuff like that. So that's the thing that we're getting ready to get into. Again, this is what we got going on. And what I ran across, or do you want me to explain it or do you want people to? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll preface it. What I did was I was actually up and I was watching YouTube and I saw a video come up from you and I wasn't sure what it was, but it was titled, can I tell them the title?
Yeah.
The title was Fuck Master P. And I said, oh shit. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. I was not, to be real honest with you, I wasn't completely shocked because, like I said, I followed No Limit and, the current artists, the previous artists, and all of that stuff for a very long time. I continue to follow these brothers and sisters. And so I've heard other people have had some issues with Master P, so that wasn't like a shock to me. But just the fact that, like I said, I knew that I had followed you. We had inboxed each other back and forth a little bit. And so when I ran across that, I immediately made sure and sent you a message. And I said, man, I was hoping I'd be able to get a chance to talk to you. But I kind of wanted to know, what was it that you said in the video? If you can kind of give them like a breakdown as to what was said and why it was said, brother, you have the floor and I'm all ears.
I said that because, like, for for a long time, I just been, you know, thinking about like all the shit. I could curse on you, or
Oh
not too
yeah,
much.
yeah. We gonna keep this open format, my brother. Just speak
All
your
right,
mind. Speak your mind.
and like the fucked up shit that like Pete been doing and making it seem like this person not keeping it real and this person not keeping, like that's just like when I posted that to Facebook, you know, somebody was like, what, like, well, see, people don't be knowing what been going on. They just only going by what they hear from him.
Right.
But if you look at it, all these people, and this my cousin, y'all could do the research. We blood cousins, and like y'all, it's obvious. Like he just started helping see if he really is. You know what I'm saying? But
Right,
like,
right. And just to let you guys know, we recently did a video talking about how C Murder and the people that had originally testified against him recanted their statements. And you guys know that I was super excited about that. I jumped on that story as early as I possibly could, and we did some really good numbers on that. But I don't know if you guys are real familiar, but a lot of the issue that was going on at that time, especially like towards like the second half of C Murder's stint, was that C Murder was claiming that Master P wasn't actually helping him. He was actually doing him more of a disservice by some of the things that he was saying about him and pertaining to his case and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that he was saying wasn't helping, it was hurting him.
right, right. So, but to the for from like it's just like even for this was the last straw for me. Like like he reached out to us through me to my brother, Gotti, he's locked, he's incarcerated right now, but he'll be home hopefully soon. You called him to come do this Essence Festival, to come down here, left his job. Now this man was on Bourbons and Lax. Like I don't know if y'all know the views on there. Like, like he shouldn't be working no job.
Man, that was a
You
huge
know what I'm
song,
saying?
and some of you guys should be familiar. If you're not familiar, of course, if you want to know anything about the heyday of No Limit, I can give you dates, I can give you albums, I can give you track titles and all kind of stuff. But that album came out on Ghetto D, on Master P's album in 1998. It was the very last track on the album, Bourbons and Lax. Y'all should know that song. And one of the verses that people loved the most was his
Mm.
verse on there.
Yep. Yeah. And
Classic.
like to see him like, in the situation that he in right now with the case he fighting in Atlanta with no, like no financial help besides me, really, and his wife, soon to be wife. You know what I'm saying? But this man left his job to come do this Essence Festival with you and talking about No Limit reunion tour and all this here, and it didn't go like you planned it on going, so you just was like, fuck us again. Like, and it's obvious that you feeling like that because it shows. You know what I'm saying? And it been showing, but maybe a lot of us was just blind to the fact. But it been started off from way back, even with Mac. When Mac caught his charge, you like now you see he innocent, but you never even must lent a hand for this man. Like, this man that wrote for you and everything, man. You done took one of this man verses and everything and rapped it without his permission.
You talking
Come
about
on,
that?
man.
You talking about that? He did that.
No, the song him Nas, that was Mac's song. He had two verses on there. He wanted to get Nas on there with him. But
Oh,
when P heard it, P rapped his verse. And if you backtrack on that and really listen to that verse, you'll know.
okay.
So, but it just and then on and on like with C, like I don't my brother could be wrong or right. I don't care. I could be mad with him for, but in a time like that, you supposed to put that to the side, however you feel or whatever you feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because I really believe if he would have got into it way before he did not claiming to be, it probably would have never even made it that far.
Yeah.
And my situation, like I was, man, when man you was talking, I was telling you, like, I went to catching all these charges because I had to go back to doing what,
Right, right, right. I got you.
and and that led to other stuff, and instead of you, and then it be killing me with these interviews. They ain't keep it real. You ain't keep it real, man. We were still working on shit without even getting paid for it.
Mm. Do me a
For
favor.
like a year, and some straight.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about like how you got hooked up with No Limit. Kind of give us an idea about your background and how you got started rapping on No Limit.
Well, further, his grandmother, Big Mom, God bless the dead, and my grandmother's sisters. So, but at first it was my brother Gotti, and it was Sleep. It was two of them. God bless the dead. Sleep passed too, but something had happened with my brother and Sleep, and
Mm-hmm.
they fell out on some other stuff, and plus P hadn't heard something about Sleep. It was getting loaded on heroin or whatever the situation was. So he didn't want him and my brother got into it, and P was like, "Well, I heard this about him, so I don't really want to fuck with him." And that's when me, Malachi, and Fino was brought to P attention.
Okay.
That my brother was like, I want my little brother and my little cousin and my partner to come do this with me. And, you know, that's gonna be the Gambino. That's it, and we're gonna be ready to work on our music. And
Okay.
that's how the whole thing came about, hooking up with him. But Gotti was with him first, and that's why I'm just like it's just crazy, man, for him, you know, to really just like how could somebody just stand up there and just say all these people ain't keep it real, or they spent their money, or they did this, or they did that. Like you ain't have no, I mean you ain't have like no doing in that. Like nobody wouldn't calling your phone for a year straight and you wouldn't answer. You just left. You know, like you ain't promised Carlos, Celos that by him staying and helping you get out of debt that you was gonna look out for pay him and you still fuck over this man. Like no, like you just can't get no good business out of it. And
And
me,
when you say CeeLos, you're talking about CeeLos from Beats by the Pound, right?
yeah,
Okay.
and you know, just the and it's just like all everything like you know pressure bust pipes. So when pressure build up, and I seen you. You know, I went out to the for the Essence Celebrity Basketball game. This the one that just passed. It was like all we did was spoke to each other. Like you know, we ain't like you ain't you know like even when I went, we had a family reunion recently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wasn't there. They you know, but his daddy and his daddy, sisters, and you know, all of them was there. Like, you know, like, but the family, you know, they don't care for him neither. Though I'm gonna speak for them. I
Wow.
know this. They waiting on C to get up.
Wow.
They don't care. Some of my people don't even must come to nothing around them. You dig? But it's just like you saying fuck us. So now I'm like fuck you, and that's where the whole fuck Master P, because you showing me like that's what it is. You showed my brother that's what it is. Like you, I mean, that's just like a person just steady getting kicked in the ass, like going back. You know, like you know, if you go back, you gonna get kicked in the ass. You steady go back, steady go back, steady go back. Man, that's enough. Me, I'm not benefiting from making you look good. And I'm not gonna lie on you, you know, but I'm not gonna lie and make you look good.
Right.
But yeah, that's what it is. Like so, when people be in my comments talking about, oh, what this is, what he, nothing. I'm not tripping. I'm just. That's why I named my album "Life After No Limit." It's still life after no limit, no matter what. No matter how they did. 9 years, came home, seen him. He never, you know, said nothing about that. You know, you don't ask about how my brother doing. You don't ask. You know, Moby. You know, Moby was in that shit with you from the beginning, man. And for you to be playing on a man like that, man, that's just bad. So that's what it is. So however he take it, I hope he watching it. If he want me to drop a location, I'll drop my location. Whatever. That's what it is. Like that's where I'm at with it. Fuck me, fuck you.
So
That's why I say it.
so tell me this, because this is what I'm wondering, because the culmination from where we were to where we are now. So you guys record Ghetto Organized, is that correct?
Yeah. That
Okay.
was our that was the group album, our group album that we dropped. October 20, 1998.
Yep. By the way, I had that album, by the way, just to let you guys know, and I still have all the music from it. So yes. And but nonetheless, it's like y'all do that album. I love the album, just like I said. You know what I mean, I loved pretty much anything that came from No Limit or whatever. So what
Right.
happens from the time when y'all drop that album? Like, are y'all doing, tours, or what's going on at that point?
We never even much did like our album like just put up like all the albums that was dropping every 2 weeks was really whatever it sold it sold without that promotion back, and like it just sold off of that's something coming from No Limit. Like
Mm-hmm.
no wasn't no money put behind none of them albums, you know, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So but after that, after we dropped that album, me and Malachi, we was like, well, since we the youngest two, you know, me and you need to do an album together. And our album was gonna be called The Young Guns, and we did a couple of featuring songs as The Young Guns, like on See Murder album, that Trapped in Crime, On the Block. We on me, him, and C on there. Then I did a featuring song on CP3.com with me, C, and Tebow. Don't Make Me. Uh, And a lot of them songs I ain't much get paid for.
Mm.
Like featuring song I did on that TRU the Crime Family album, Never Bring a Knife to a Gunfight.
Yes,
I never got paid for that.
I remember that
I
song.
ain't, so yeah, a lot of shit, that people don't know, what I'm saying, that's been going on with the situation. Like, that's just like publishing rights. You Nobody on No Limit ain't never owned their publishing rights.
Oh,
Except
that's the part that I
it,
want you to really really drive home to people because I'm not shocked to hear that because I mean I know it happens, but it's just like damn no. So
yeah,
no, none of the artists own the music.
none of us, no artists under No Limit ever owned their own except for Mia.
Mia
But
X.
Mia X. And but everybody else, every album that ever came out under No Limit, P owned the publishing rights to it. So every 6 months, he was getting a check from every album that came out under No Limit except for Mia, as far as like with the publishing rights.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So the only reason why we just now about to start getting publishing for it because Universal own the catalog now. And I mean, I just assume by Universal being the big big company that they are, they work by the books, so they want to make sure the artists that did these songs or produced these albums get paid. Like they just got a ton of money sitting in an account that's waiting to get shipped, waiting to get sent out. But first they gotta get the catalog in order. Everything was under Big P Publishing. So if everything was under Big P Publishing, that means he got it to where he was writing the music, making the beats, producing it like he was Superman.
So
So
he basically
that's
got
how that
he got a lot of credit for shit that he that actually
shit.
didn't do.
Right, right,
Damn.
right,
Because he was,
right.
I know he was like on the back of the CD covers, like it said executive producer, and he was
Produce,
executive producer on
right.
everything.
So just think about it. You get a check for publishing. You get a check every 6 months for 125 years. So by him putting out so many albums, ain't no telling. He probably was. It got to the point where checks was landing maybe like 5, 6, 7 checks a month throughout a year, just off of publishing.
Wow. And y'all didn't see any of that.
When the only money we seen was money that was given to us, like 2,500 here, $1,000 there. The only thing he did was, I know this for sure. He used to do this with everybody that dropped the album. Maybe like 2, 3 days before your album dropped. I know he put $12,000 in each 1 hour account.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like 48,000 that we had to split.
Right.
That was it. That was the most lump sum we ever got. We always got like the $2,500 checks here and there, but nobody ain't never. And then people don't really be thinking like before they comment and speak on shit like just think about it like who that he ever made a millionaire.
Mm.
What artist became a millionaire by signing to Master P?
And you guys that are in the chat, man, you guys can speak on that if you know, but I don't know of any of them.
Can't count Snoop. You can't count Snoop because Snoop already had a big old name. He just had a situation.
Yeah.
And you can't say Mystical because Mystical already had a name and he was in a situation. But he didn't even have a millionaire. So name me somebody.
I'd be at a loss for words on that one. I can't name a person.
All the artists that was under No Limit.
Because I follow quite a bit of them, quite a few of them. And it seemed like everybody's just on the grind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't really reap any benefits from it financially.
Yeah. Even to the new people. Just backtrack and just think about what the artist has been complaining about. Just backtrack from the old to the new.
Because I'll tell you this, because I'm gonna tell you guys this while y'all are watching the show, and do me a favor, hit the thumbs up if y'all would. It'll share the show. Let other people know that we are live again. We are on the line with my guy Reginelli from originally from Gambino family, from No Limit Records. And one of the things that I thought was interesting, because I had saw a video a few years ago, maybe more or less, that had went viral of an artist that was claiming that he was getting ready to get signed by Master P, and he got paperwork. And I actually watched him on camera destroy that contract. I don't remember who it was,
I
but
can't remember what his name was. He was, he had that kind of like 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 that Drake flow, but he could rap.
mhm.
He could rap. He was kind of like on that little style. I don't remember his name, but I remember him because I watched it, and I was saying to myself, that man ain't lying. He ain't lying on. And I know he ain't because I've been around him. I knew.
Yeah, even
So
like even like when with the situation that was also publicized, I believe by way of academics. So shout out to academics, where he had hold on, don't let me lose it. He had with Kodak Black,
yeah,
where Kodak Black was supposedly having all of these financial issues and contract issues and all of this stuff. So he had went to Master P basically to get some guidance, so to say, quote unquote guidance.
hmm
And afterwards, all I remember seeing was Kodak Black posting talking about, like you said, he said fuck
yeah.
Master P and this and that and whoop de whoop and this was some bullshit and this and that. Ain't no way I'm gonna pay him this and that and such. But from what I
For
understood
some
was that
for
he was
some
trying,
game
yeah,
on the
basically,
music.
yeah. And I know that didn't sit too well with Kodak Black, but it's just funny how it seems like every artist that has dealt with him has. I'm not gonna lie, like it damn near kind of is reminiscent of the way that people are looking at Birdman right now, and it almost kind of makes me wonder, like if he's trying to maybe like kind of do what he did, and like I think it's insane the fact that that this has gone on so long with the Lil Wayne situation where he wasn't getting his money. And I mean, he's like one of the top artists as far as being known in the world and having money
Right,
issues
right,
because people own his shit, and he's expecting for that person that has a hold of that to be able to do the right thing. Like you're just expecting for this person to do the right thing. Hey, I earned this money. Why are you not sending me that said money?
right.
Is that kind of what you guys went through?
Yeah, and with a whole lot of other shit, and I ain't like I'm not mad with him for like for because he did give us a chance. He ain't have to sign a drop an album on us. Like I never even must, man. Let me tell you, I never even must sign a contract. I don't even must you know like we never signed a contract.
Hmm.
Only thing I knew was he said, "Come on," the only thing he did was got me and Malachi emancipated, and which means we had to, by us being underage, we had to go in front of a judge to get a judge to give us the okay to live life as adults,
Okay.
even though we underage. And it probably was a reason for that because he probably already was like, I guess, covering himself.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to find out we not getting all our money, nobody can say they was underage or they didn't, because we've been emancipated. It's legal on paperwork. So
Right.
my mom or my daddy can't come up and say, I feel like my son been taken advantage of because you know he didn't get what he was supposed to get out money. In it, I'm not saying that was the case, but from what I could see, you know what I'm saying,
It seemed
that
like that.
that's just to cover
Yeah.
him. But you know, I I ain't well, like I ain't. I'm just mad at the fact that you getting up here making it seem like we the ones that ain't keep it real. We the ones that was on some fake shit. You left us in Baton Rouge with, you know, bills. Steady calling your phone every day, all day. You ain't answering. Man, I know, cause I damnly called up for almost a year straight. Ain't getting no, you know, and some of the dudes that was with No Limit ain't recovered from it.
Mm.
You know, like that's why I say it's still life after No Limit.
Yeah, because I actually when and I was talking to you offline. I had actually ran into an artist that was signed on No Limit, which was part of the the damn it, hold on, Bavgate. What group?
Oh, steady mob.
Steady Mob. And I don't know why I keep wanting to say Ghetto Commission. I had
And
actually
shout out to Babgate, man. That's my. I talk to Babgate from time to time.
yeah, and he was real cool. Like I actually happened to be DJing at a club in Oklahoma City, and I was in the DJ booth, and I watched him walk up, and I was like, holy shit, like, because I ain't gonna lie, I was starstruck, like, you know what I'm saying, and I couldn't believe that he was there, and it literally seemed like he was on the grind. Like, this don't look like somebody that was able to basically reap the benefits of what it
Yeah,
was that they contributed to No Limit at that time. Because I remember, you and a lot of other of those other guys, Ghetto Commission, and so many of those
right.
folks, like everybody kind of intershared the work that it took to put a lot of those albums together, and it just don't seem like anybody really reaped the benefits of it.
That never, nope, nah, nobody. But not. I mean,
Damn.
man, you had, we talked about, a lot of things, like even with C, like C for the been one of your albums been and sold a million records at that time, $20 a disc. Come on, man, you getting your brother getting 85. Ain't no way you should have to call him for no money.
Right.
Ain't no way,
Yeah, because
you know.
I remember I used to cut yards at the time. I used to have a business that my dad helped me set up, and I would go around the neighborhood and I would literally cut yards. And every $20 I asked him to take me to the record store. Matter of fact, one of the first payroll jobs I had was Del Rancho. Shout out to Del Rancho. I don't know if they are still really in existence like that, but I remember when
Right.
I used to work for them and I would have a lunch break. Instead of taking my lunch break and eating at work, you know what I do? We used to have this thing called Blockbuster Video. So guess what I
Yeah.
would do? I'd turn around and go down the street, spend my lunch break, and go look and find and purchase every single No Limit CD that I did not have. Every opportunity that I got. Every single time. $20 plus tax.
Yep. Yep. So for for the being like situations like that, but that's just that ain't cool. But everybody got the like C been there for me like through not just me, a lot of people like a lot of people you would that could vouch for, that could stand on it like and he wasn't even much financially straight like that, but he still made a way. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And that's why like I look at him past a cousin, like a brother, like like if C was to tell me, man, let up off, or let him, I let up. That's the only way I let up off. Other than that, it is what it is.
wow.
That's just how much respect I got for him. Like, and then I came home. I wasn't financially straight after doing 85% of 9 years. So the only thing I could contribute was an album, and that's why I dropped the Free C Murder album for him. And whatever it do, I already had made arrangements to let him get whatever off it, whatever. That's his album. Like I just rapped it for him. Keep his name relevant.
Wow, that's dope, man. And so to hear somebody refer to you as you and all of these whole slew of people from producers to rappers and whoever to sit there and just put them in this idea box of saying that these people didn't keep it real. I just think that's insane because
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like going forward, pretty much from the year 2000 and thereon, like I would hear so many times when Master P would refer to, if you real, keep it real. If you fake and then you phony,
And then
and
you know what he called himself trying to slick side this people that wouldn't with no limit no more. But I'm saying like but like I said, they don't a lot of them don't really want to get on there and speak on it and thing. But man, people was recording, doing songs, steady beats by the pound, steady doing beats. Now you producing, you releasing albums every 2 weeks.
Yep.
Like so, just imagine like the beats that they producing on these albums, at least 3, 4, between the five of them, maybe 3, 4 piece.
Yep.
And the money like for a year for the not to get paid for a year straight. Like what more you want? Like
And
what more you want? And you know what I'm saying? And they ain't keep it real.
And
Come
I
on, man.
and I remember sitting there listening to Moby Dick's interview, and he had did an interview. So shout out to Moby Dick, and to just sit there and listen to him talk about how they used to be like pretty much just down in like this this studio, like just this area, and just constantly just work night and day, sleeping, living in the
Hey,
studio.
all day, man. Either every day a producer, somebody was in there. Whether they come that morning, probably went and got some rest, but like that's just crazy, man. So I'm gonna be the verse for him, and like like I said, like however he take it, maybe hopefully he respect my mind. That I ain't putting no bad law out on him. It's all true. Facts. Anybody, you guys, anybody that was with us, they'll speak on the same thing probably, So, that's what it is. And like I ain't looking for no attention. I don't need no attention. I'm steady dropping shit. I got music. I got nothing but shit like I might got music that could have shook him back. You heard me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, he don't want no see what he like to keep around him. Yes, man. Niggas that's gonna agree to everything. Like if I know my partner about to go do something that's gonna get him 100 years, I'ma try to man look, you tripping, don't fuck with that. Like if you do that, woo, woo, woo. But him, however he feel, whatever he say, he gonna have people around him that's gonna just make they self laugh at something that ain't funny or, say yes to everything or be all on it. You know what I'm saying? That's why he couldn't do see that. And that's why him and C always bump head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, matter of fact, I remember when he actually went to that meeting, and some of you guys might know this story, when he actually went to do his distribution meeting, and he had actually hopped on the plane, and he had C Murder with him, and they had went and
Yeah.
talked, and they had actually offered them a deal initially when they really didn't have but the money in their pockets. And
Yeah.
I remember Master P turning that down, which is, like I say, there's, some positive in the negativity in that
Right.
particular situation. And I remember him and C Murder had got into it like pretty bad, where he was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we ain't got nothing. Like, how you gonna turn this down? And he's like, well, you know what? If they're offering us this, then what could we actually be worth? Which can be a good thing, but the way that you're supposed to translate that is if you build with people, then you share with those people.
Right.
And it is just weird that, I've watched this man the majority of my life, you know what I'm saying, go from, from having this thing to seeing where he's at now. And I got to a point to where I can't lie to you, just to be real honest with you, because a lot of time I get into some shit my damn self, because I'm going to
Right.
speak my mind and I'm going to be real. And shout out to my brother Kurt, dog. He know what it is with me, because a lot
Yeah.
of the time when people ask me a question, what am I going to do? I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say exactly what's on my mind. And it tend to get me in shit. But I can sleep at night because I know I was honest. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And one of the things that I had to unfollow him, because I just thought it was so weird that I'm looking at these artists, other artists that I'm following. I'm following Mr. Servo, I'm following Mia X, I'm following Mercedes, I'm following you, I'm following Silk, and all these artists. And to sit there and see that every time he's posting these videos, he's got a person, I don't know if it's a cameraman or what, but a person literally sitting there filming him, like, will get out the car, go walk wherever the hell he walking, and Master P will pull up. Like, I'm like, what the like, I think it's weird because it's like he's pulling up into a gas station and his big fancy, $1 million car or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
yeah, we doing this and doing that and such and such. Man, I mean, it's like you make it look good, but it's just like, that's cool. But like, if you have built your platform off of the backs of other people, like, it would just only make sense that you break bread with the people that fucking got you there.
Yeah. Like that's even with even Slim, right? Slim, Slim been, like
And shout out to
to,
Soldier Slim, man.
yeah,
Magnolia
man,
Slim.
rest in peace. Raw R.I.P. to the late great Soldier Slim, man. That you know, like
That's how you know I'm a fan. I know him by his original name.
yeah, man, and like and Slim. That's the reason why him and Slim fell out behind a money situation. Like Slim. A lot of people don't know Slim. Like they don't think Slim keep up with the numbers he's doing on selling. You know what I'm saying? So based on the numbers, and Slim, Slim straight up, Slim gonna come straight at you like man, like he ain't gonna cut no corners. Like man, people's out, man. Look, I need, you know, and you're not gonna just give me no $20,000 and thinking that that's it for a album that I'm looking at the numbers.
Right.
Ain't no way. Yeah.
You see what it sold, and you're like, wait a minute, this is not my cut,
And
bro.
then he rapped it to you. He started off and said it. P wasn't up in no mill. So before I jacked the clown, I went on about my business. That's why we don't fuck around. Like, like you will not become no millionaire fucking with straight up, and that's facts.
Man. Because it seemed like really anybody that ended up doing something did something after the fact.
Yeah,
Cause
after the fact.
Yep, because I think, matter of fact, didn't he do an album called I think it was Life After No Limit, if I'm not mistaken, or something close to it.
Oh, he did.
It was Life After something.
Man, what the name of that? I know Streets made me.
Yep,
Um,
yep, I had that one.
um,
That was 2001, by the way.
um.
Matter of fact, I could probably look it up. I'm pretty sure I got the album. Let me see.
I think that was his last album. That was that No Limit had something to do with was the Streets made me. Everything else after that,
Yep. Streets made me.
he
Give it to.
dropped under.
Yep. Streets made me. Give it to him raw. Oh no, give it to
Give
him
it to
raw was
him
on No Limit.
was under No Limit. Yeah, that was the first one he dropped when he came home.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Sure did. I don't see it in here, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And
Yeah,
and I know he put together the Cutthroat Committee, and he was
yeah,
literally kind of building his own thing. And it was at the time him and T Murder were pretty much like, you had TRU, and then you had the Cutthroat Committee. Like, everybody was
yeah.
trying to
It was
build up
together.
their
Yeah,
own
yeah. They was
thing.
they was they was they was messing with each other. Then and the BG, they was like that was they jump three. Like like the big three
Yeah.
was Slim, C, and BG. Shout out to BG too, man. Free BG.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how and when Slim and P had the falling out over the phone, P called C to tell him he not fucking with Slim in so many words to let him know he not fucking with Slim. So kind of slick side trying to tell him you don't need to be fucking with Slim. And C being the real one that he is, no matter who you is, he gonna keep it real. Like he like, well, I'm fucking with him.
Yeah.
And that's when things really got bad with C and P
Yeah. Wow.
after that call. But like I said, me on the other hand, my brother, blood brother, no, I don't care what situation we had or whatever. But in a time like that, you got to put that to the side. And a charge as serious as C was on, you were supposed to be involved from jump. Like ain't no making that up. You can't make that up to him. Like you know if you know C, you know how he is. Like that's you did that. You
Yeah.
know, like you could come now and try to, make it woo to woo, like, you all that just, I know you doing that for the benefit you too at the same time right now, cause you ain't like I know for sure New Orleans ain't fucking with it, like, cause you got to look at the majority of the artists that were signed to No Limit are from New Orleans, and they got family members, and they got family members, and they got family members, like you know what I'm saying, like.
Cause when you hear from his mouth and when he shows up down there, and of course he got his cameraman and he's filming and stuff. I mean, he make it seem like he be down there, he be kicking and he's still cool with everybody and stuff like that. And people fuck with it.
I
Like,
guarantee, I guarantee you, if he wouldn't have never gave that press conference the same time, right after the celebrity basketball game, it wouldn't have been. You wouldn't have seen that many people out there. He ain't crazy. He think that's why he did the press conference. Soon as the game was over, soon as the game ended, straight to the press conference for C. Come on, man, that's it. That shit water whip like a mother.
yeah, cause like I said, man, cause everything that I was hearing, from C Murder was he was making it, C Murder was making it seem like a lot of the stuff that Master P was saying. I even remember an interview on BET where he had famously had said something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something of basically trying to insinuate that C is making bad decisions and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and all of that stuff was pretty much just kind of just throwing him under the bus, and he was just like, wait a minute,
yeah,
like that's not helping me, that's hurting me, like you can't say
yeah.
stuff like that right now, not
Because
right now.
they gonna look at it like, man, look at his brother saying about him. So maybe he is the guy. You know what I'm saying? When a whole while he wasn't the guy. I was in there at the time. I was with C when the whole situation happened. And C did not shoot that dude at all. With nowhere even close to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, but for you to get up there and make it seem like it's a possibility, like that's what I'm saying. Like, wrong, I don't care what you was mad about or y'all had just got into it, but a brother, I'm riding with my brother. Like,
yeah, straight up, it's family.
no matter wrong or right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, and I don't ain't much like I didn't, man. P ain't. I don't care. We don't ever say nothing to each other no more. That's what the point I'm at with. Like, like like I didn't did like to come get somebody and introduce them to this, and then turn around and now they gotta go. Man, you know how hard that was to go from that to back to hustling. Like doing this or doing
Yeah,
as
not only
you
physically hard, but I can imagine how mentally hard that is to know
yeah,
what platform you had, and then to
yeah.
know where you actually realistically stand now, and then to
Mm-hmm.
still see that person like perpetuating a platform that what I'm saying, like I'm up here, like what I'm saying,
Yeah,
and I'm sure that's got to be a difficult thing to have to deal with.
yeah, yeah. That was that. And that's why I say like it's still life after No Limit. Like even for like I was telling you about the situation with Prime Suspects was with New Nine, one of them. Like hope I hope and he could understand that it's still life after No Limit and get himself together and like and get to it. Like
Yeah, shout out to Prime Suspects because you know, definitely one of my favorite albums. I definitely love that project for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, man, people have struggled behind that, and then just the fact that what I'm saying. You put there's some people, even like people that come out one time, one album, even one song, and
Yeah.
they live off of that. You know what I'm saying? To literally
Yeah.
not give anybody a leg to stand on, I think is just asinine. I think that's crazy.
Right. And that's just like, even, God bless the dead, even with magic. Like,
Yeah,
like the
yeah. Shout out.
crosses he was throwing with magic and see. Like, it's like the situation that was happening is like, it's like you glad that your brother gotta come ask you for money. Ask you for you to tell magic, say some shit like you playing around in a joke, like, see, can't take care of you. Now you
Mm,
better come sign with me. Like
mm.
trying to in situating you could pick. You gonna come with me for the money at, or you gonna go? You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
Like it's
wow.
just like, so we are not the bad guys, the ones that just go do the research, go ahead on and see. Like we are not. I'm still waiting to see who be. Now just think about it. Let's say he did make uh 3, 4, 5 people millionaires, and they, when he did get in a situation of going in debt, you got 5 people that will give you, I'm pretty sure, empty their account to you, like, to help you get back straight.
Mm-hmm.
I would, like at that time, you know what I'm saying? But so that's why you can't, what I'm saying? You ain't help nobody get there to even must say, man, look out, I might need you to send me about 1 mil or 2 mil. Like you, no artist, like you ain't never.
No, nobody even had the assets
Yeah,
to. They
yeah,
didn't have anything to stand
yeah,
on or give
yeah.
because you
To
didn't. You
tell you the
didn't.
truth, we found out. Well, I know I did. Me, see, speaking on the Gambino family, and prime suspects and people like we. I didn't research what publishing was until I heard Jay-Z say it in a song.
Mm,
Like niggas getting fucked for their publishing. Like so. You know, C went brought the business of music book, and we reading all kind of like I ain't never even much like could even thought of. You know what I'm saying at the time.
right.
Like so,
Because if you don't know, you don't know.
yeah. But I'm glad I learned it. I learned the business side of it while I was still real younger. Than me being up in age and you know learning about it. Uh, in my prime learning about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, so just to let people know that's where I was at with it. Like I just went to thinking about a lot of situations that probably wouldn't have occurred, even the situation that my brother in right now, and just it probably would have never happened if he would have kept his end of the stick. Like my brother would have never even been in that situation if he would have kept his word, like he said for the Essence after the Essence Festival last year. The No Limit reunion tour was gonna kick off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
And
this
I and
man
I was
crazy.
I was excited about that. I was hoping that would have materialized.
Yeah, yeah. So so I just hope that the fans or whoever that was commenting under there, like I ain't to be taken like I understand that social media, but like for real, like I ain't do your research before you comment crazy shit like off the wall, like please just do that for me because I ain't really zero tolerance.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, bro. Man, I want to thank you, for joining us, man, to kind of, speak your mind and your thoughts about, this whole situation and kind of getting us up to speed as to
Right,
where you are now in the situation and stuff like that, and why it's got to be what you say it is with,
right,
with regard to how you feel about Master P. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely hope that, like I said, you got my support, man, and anything that we could do, if nothing else, we at least, provide a platform to be able to, allow you to just speak your mind, man. And I definitely appreciate you, joining us, man. Anything else you want to say to the people or anybody else out there
I
that
just
might be
want to let
watching?
y'all know that I'm about to get ready to drop the Life After No Limit Reloaded. Um, I'm going to record the first single tonight, and I'm gonna release it tomorrow. The single, y'all gonna love it. Y'all know the state of mind I'm in right now. That's where I'm at with it. And that's how I really write my music. So you know, this song here, I'm not slick. I'm telling you what it's gonna be. This song.
Mm.
That's. I'm dropping. I'm gonna record it tonight. As soon as I get off here, and I'm gonna release it tomorrow night at 12 o'clock.
So you guys make sure and stay tuned because I'm pretty
So
sure that I'm going to have a copy of that in my email address.
yeah, you definitely will have a copy of it. So I don't want nobody. You ain't got to try to figure out who I'm talking about. I'm telling you who I'm talking about. I'm not slick this, and I'm telling you exactly who I'm talking about.
Straight up, and I can respect that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's real.
And Free C Murder.
Man, free C Murder, free Mac, free Mystical, free
Free
BG,
Mac.
man.
Free Mystical. Free BG, man. Free, like, man, freedom. Real, man.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Well, I appreciate your time, brother, and thank you so much. We're gonna go
You
ahead and
already know. Anytime, man. Anytime you got my number, like, whatever.
straight up, straight up. Well, we definitely gonna make sure and stay in contact, bro. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. Anything else you want to say before we close out?
Yeah, y'all go ahead on and download that Free C Murder album and that Life After No Limit album. It's available on all platforms.
All right, guys. Well,
Go
you
get
heard
that.
you heard it here first here at the Soda You Dig, man. This is your host of the evening, DJ Just J. Thank you guys for joining the show. This is Reginelli. Shout out to Gambino family. Life After No Limit Records. We are in this thing. We're gonna go ahead and close it out with my favorite song. Hey,
Huh?
hi.
MC Goat.
MC Goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you doing your thing, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually close out on my favorite song, and that is "Die for Me." I love that song. You guys make sure and go cop that. Make sure y'all support Reginelli. We're gonna continue to keep this thing popping, man. Y'all
Get a
know.
movement.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But again, man, per hands up. Thank you guys so much, brother. And we're gonna keep in contact. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. We're gonna ride out, bro.
All right.
All right, man. Thank you guys for joining the show. You guys hit the thumbs up on the way out. When you guys watch this on the replay, please hit the thumbs up. Post your comments. Let them know what you think, and I'll make sure and send them out them links so you guys can make sure and check this video out. This is Reginelli, MC Goat, Die For Me. You heard me? Let's get it in.
Huh? Let's get it.